Alright, just before we start this video, I would like to say that in my last overrated video, I was a little bit overly mean, I would say, to Blade Runner. It's not as bad as I said I was. I still don't really think it's close to Alien as Ridley Scott's best movie, or even like that great, but it was not as bad as I thought. I should talk about 2049, because I did watch Blade Runner 2049 too. I definitely got my issues with it. The main one being it was far too long. It was paced very slowly. It was paced like a Tarkovsky movie, from what I've heard about him, and I did not think it needed to be like that. I also didn't think Ryan Gosling was that great in it, but it's got very good visuals and a very good score, and I appreciate the themes it's got going. The topic, I could make a Denis Villeneuve video, because I am not his biggest fan, but this is a Nolan Interstellar video, not for him. But first part, I do think Nolan, at this point, I've seen 7 of his 12 movies, and I can say that he is overrated, and he is not anywhere near one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. I'll get into that. Like, the main reason I think that is he doesn't really do any. There's nothing unique about his directing or writing style. His movies are good. He makes good movies. They're enjoyable. But they're just nothing like unique he does. The only unique thing he has is he's bad at editing and he's bad at sound mixing, which is it's not positive. Also, I just don't think his catalog is as good as people say. Like I said, I've seen 7 of his movies. 3 of them have been genuinely great. 2 of them were like above average, but not really special. And 2 of them aren't necessarily bad, but they're not really good either. I don't like using this word, but if I was going to use a word, it would be mid. But let's get to actually talking about Interstellar now. Alright, so for a background on Interstellar, it's kind of like his love letter to like 2001 and other existential movies, which would probably be like Perfect Blue, considering we know he likes Satoshi Kon from his Paprika influence Inception, not Interception. So it's like while he was making it in his career, he's kind of like on a hot streak. Inception, he's off of Inception, which was really good, and he made The Dark Knight Rises, which was not, but he was on a decent thing. So it kind of seems like we would call them film bros. Interstellar, for like when it came out, confirmed for them like, oh, Nolan's the greatest filmmaker of all time. Except like, it could have also been like The Dark Knight Inception that did that, but I don't know. But to be honest, if we had to sum up Interstellar, you could kind of say it's like a fairy tale with good space effects. Now, the movie would not be like as bad if Nolan, while he was making it, didn't think he was making the most deep, profound story like ever. It's like he's trying to make it deep and profound, but he's also trying to make it digestible for like the average casual moviegoer, and that's not super easy to do. I mean, there are good things about it. The actors do give good performances and do put a lot of emotion into them, especially based off how not good a lot of the lines they had to say were. And the visuals and score, very good. The cinematography is good. It's got very good presentation, we'll say that. So to sum it up, everyone's brought their A game, except for Nolan and his brother, who are the writer and director, which are the 2 most important parts of a movie. Alright, so you can take it from, I was saying, the writing directing is the most important part. Take it from good directors, like Alfred Hitchcock. He was asked the 3 most important elements for a good film. He answered the script, and the script. Now, Nolan, he directed it. His brother Nolan was writer and director. His brother wrote the script for the most part. Now, you would assume, based on this, they have not seen Rear Window or Vertigo, because the script is very awful in this movie. There's a lot of really cliche and just not good lines. And we could say earlier, he tries to blend very thought-provoking, deep themes with like mainstream cliches, and he doesn't do it well. An example I'll use for a series I like a lot that does it well is Neon Genesis Evangelion. Now, the first half, they don't really have anything deep. It's kind of just move the plot along a little and get to know the main characters. And then when you get to like the halfway point and it gets really dark, and that's when the crazy stuff happens. Now, in this movie, he doesn't really build up to the profound. deep stuff. He kind of just goes back and forth between the two, and it doesn't really work. And if we're gonna say more things, the ending in the entire third act is really awful. It's like normal space things, and then Matthew McConaughey gets sucked into an interdimensional bookcase, and then he subliminally talks to his daughter, and she somehow saves the world, while Matthew McConaughey, he survived floating in space for like 100 years. So, to sum up all the arguments here, Interstellar is just like an average cliche movie about space. It's got good presentation, but there's inconsistency, there's lacks of logic, and it doesn't really say anything, even though it tries to say something other than love will save the world. And another thing, I will give movies points for this, even if I didn't like them during the time. If it sticks with me after watching it. You know, Blade Runner did that. Does Interstellar do that? No, not at all. I completely forgot 85% of the movie by the end of the day, and I watched it I finished it by 2. Alright, basically, as a conclusion, if you think Interstellar is one of the greatest films of all time, or even one of the greatest science fiction films of all time, it's cool for you. I do not agree, and to add on to that, now that I think about it, most big science fiction films in recent memory have been, I think, quite overrated. If I had to score Interstellar, I guess I'd say light, decent 5, something like that. And also, to add on, if you think Nolan is one of the greatest directors of all time, and so it's good for you. I don't think he's even like top 5 working today, possibly. And he certainly is not top 10 of all time. Yeah, that's pretty much it now. If I was going to do a next video, that'd be a Jordan Peele triple review. If you want to see that, comment or like the video, dislike the video, comment. What else you want to see? Talk about what you disagree on and agree on in the comments. Subscribing, that'd be nice. That's all. That's it for this video. Bye.